Hey golf fanatics, Erika Larkin here, Director of Instruction at the club at Creighton Farms. I'm going to show you how to do a wedge matrix today. We're going to really dial in all those approach distances with all your wedges right after this. Okay, so if you've never done this exercise, it's one that you want to make time to do, whether you're on the range tracking it, on the golf course trying to get this information, during an on-course practice session, or if you have access to an indoor simulator TrackMan-like environment like we have here at the stable at Creighton Farms. This is a great way to gather information how far your clubs go, but in particular today we're working on our wedges. So let's make a wedge matrix by testing each one of our wedges with several different size swings. The idea is, let's say I have 3 wedges times 3 swing sizes. I should have a matrix of 9 distances that I can count on to use when I go play golf. And so that's going to be my method, my strategy for calculating how big of a swing I need with which wedge to get the ball to go the distance that I want. Very simple concept, but it's just something people don't take time to do, and they don't revisit this often enough to calibrate every once in a while how far things are going. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to start with my most lofted wedge, which is my 58 degree, and I'm going to just run through about 3 or 4 swings from a low checkpoint. My goal as I run through this exercise is to keep my feeling of swing tempo more or less the same. I don't want to all of a sudden get super aggressive and speed up my swing intentionally, because I'm trying to have some consistent variable as I move through my matrix. So I want to get in what I call wedge mode, a nice relaxed pendulum-like rhythm, nothing too aggressive. And I'm just going to hit here at the middle of the screen. You're going to see some numbers pop up in a second. And so I'm going to call this backswing 8 o'clock. The reason being is I don't want to have a wrist hinge, and I want the club to finish, low down here. As I come through, I'm going to mimic the same position on the front side. So I'm going to try to repeat that. So I had 19 yards of total distance, and again 19. I'm seeing a consistent speed, club head speed show up from one to the next. That means that my swing size and my swing tempo is staying pretty consistent. Okay, great. So they were all within the ballpark. If you're doing this and your speed is changing all over the place, either your swing size is changing or your tempo is changing. So I have consistent club head speed, and now I'm seeing a pretty consistent range of distance. And this is just a short swing with my most lofted wedge. Now I can graduate up from here and go a little bit longer and create some half swing motion with wrist hinge. I'm going to call this 9 o'clock with hinge. Okay. We can see the speed went up, as did the carry and total distance. The other number there on the right, that smash factor, is one that's telling me how much compression I'm getting. I'm interested to see that number live on or around 1.0. That means that I'm compressing the ball well. I'm not getting too much spin. So let me try on the next one to see if I can get a little bit more smash. Okay. Similar club head speed, hopefully, yeah, and the smash went to 1.03. So I might throw out some outliers in the process as I'm going through this if I feel like I didn't hit one really solid. So that's my second swing checkpoint. Last but not least, I'm going to go back to a 3/4 swing position. So my hands and arms are pretty full at the top. My wrist hinge is fairly well hinged. I never want to go 100% swing length with my wedges because I don't want to muscle anything. That gets usually the contact and the smash gets a little bit squirrely. So I'm going to stop at 3/4 and try again here. And that felt pretty good. So you can see my club head speed went from in the 20s to the 40s and now pushing 60 miles an hour with this size swing. Smash was okay. So as I go along, I'm trying to just find that consistency within each checkpoint. And I'm going to write down those numbers, those averages of carry and total, and really focusing on that carry distance in particular, because that's going to help me know how much I need when I'm trying to hit it over a bunker or onto the edge of the green to carry a certain, yardage. So as I continue on here with a second wedge, I have a gap wedge. I would start the whole thing over again and start down at that low 8 o'clock checkpoint, no hinge, and just get a second set of distances. So all for the sake of example here, keep going. 9 o'clock with a hinge. And lastly, a 3/4 swing with a hinge. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way I'm hitting it. You can see the change in the numbers, and the more balls I can hit and just reiterate that these are the distances I'm getting, I can complete that matrix and have 3 swing checkpoints with my 3 different wedges being 58, 52, and pitching wedge. And now I have a whole plot of numbers that I can use when I go on the golf course. A nice trick to do too is to put a little piece of tape on your shafts with those 3 numbers directly on here. Some people do it a little bit more down at the hosel. You might just have a little index card that you keep in your golf bag, on your phone, something like that, just at the ready in case you forget and you don't have those numbers memorized yet. So it's a great way to have a little cheat sheet as to what those 3 yardages are for each one of your wedges. Go through this exercise. I know it's going to help you out. It's a really great process to really get organized about your short game, those approach distances, which are so critical to scoring. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll get back to as many as I can. As always, thanks for watching. Tell a friend about us that you think they could benefit from this lesson. We'd love for you to share with a friend. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see you next time on Golf Fanatics.